We're going to talk about a very important topic that interests everyone because nobody works for free in this life. At least most people work for a salary, right? So we're going to talk about salaries. I've prepared two slides and we're going to talk a bit about salaries. First, I want to tell you that salaries in supply chain positions are in high demand worldwide. Every country needs positions like buyers, specialists, and inventory analysts. In every country, these two slides I just prepared are because I'm currently living in the United States, but I'll make another tutorial to cover it on a global level. But for now, let's go with these two slides. In the United States, salaries in the supply chain field are truly competitive. Buyers earn on average between $70,000 and $90,000 a year. Inventory analysts make between $70,000 and $85,000 per year. And supply chain specialists can earn between $80,000 and $90,000 or more, depending on their experience and location. Obviously, it also depends on the company, the industry, and whether it's a multinational, but these are the numbers. But the most important thing about all this, I'll keep reading, is that as you gain experience and take on leadership roles, salaries can easily exceed $100,000 a year. I see it myself here living in the United States. Mr. Bayer or purchasing leaders, thank you. Who are managers, heads of purchasing departments can earn between $100,000 and $120,000. Supply chain managers or directors can earn between $110,000 and $140,000. And supply chain or procurement directors at large companies can easily make over $115,000 or even $200,000 per year. Okay, it's incredible, isn't it? Let's move on to the second slide. These are positions, I'll say it again as I mentioned before, that are in high demand in industries like manufacturing, logistics, technology, and retail, with job postings published every day on LinkedIn and Indeed, which are currently the hottest platforms for finding new job opportunities. That's why I created this course, this academy, which is available in English and Spanish, designed especially for buyers, inventory analysts, and purchasing specialists who want to master tools like SAP, Excel, and real business strategies to accelerate their professional growth. In this program, in what you will see in this course, what I do is teach you how to move from an operational role, for example, a junior buyer, to a leadership position, such as a supervisor or manager, by understanding all the processes: purchasing processes, inventory control, MRP, supplier management, and KPI analysis. Just like the professionals who today lead supply chain teams all over the world. All right, so I invite you to take a look with me at some real job postings on LinkedIn and Indeed. These are publicly available. You can look them up yourselves as well to see how these salary ranges are reflected in the current market. Here we are on LinkedIn. You can see the open positions. I just typed in buyer. Look at the salaries. The first one is 70,000 to 75,000. Ecolab 64,000 to 96,000. Purchasing agent from 79,600 to 129,000. Sourcing, procurement, specialist, purchasing, agent, buyer. Look at the salaries. This is public information. You can do this yourselves and check it out. But I want to show you that the salaries are relatively high in everything related to supply chains. Let's take a closer look at the position of a procurement sourcing specialist. This role is an essential part of the procurement and supply process within organizations. The salary for a procurement sourcing specialist typically ranges from $70,800 up to $99,100. Obviously, they have requirements. Let's look at one. For example, this one we have here. Philip Tembro Industry, Mr. Buyer, from 71,000 to 96,000. These requirements are exactly what I explain in the course. And here you see, as a skill, you need to know how to use the SAP system. That's what I'm explaining in the course. Everyone needs to know SAP. To know on Indeed, which is also a very important site, LinkedIn and Indeed. Nowadays, these are the most important platforms for job searches. Look at the salaries. The first one we find, the hourly rate is from $38 to $62 per hour. Do the math to see how much you would earn annually. Look at the positions. Procurement sourcing specialist, 70,899 to 120,000 per year. Sourcing operations specialist, 61,812 to 110,058 per year. Planner, sourcing, procurement, and supply chain, these are all key positions. I explain each of these important roles in my course, which is why I keep repeating them. These are positions that are highly in demand in the job market. Now, let's examine Indeed, for example. Here, I have a director position currently open and available. All I entered was Director of Procurement. Look at the salaries, 210,000 to 240,000. These are already advanced levels, which I also explain in the course. That's why I go from one level, starting from a very basic and foundational level in the supply chain industry and progressing step by step all the way up to a highly advanced, experienced, and senior director level within the organization. You can look all of this up yourselves at home, carefully analyze it, and click on each of these positions to see the requirements. Those requirements are exactly what I explain in the course.